Hello users and welcome. This is going to be my debate review for the first Democratic debate, and so I'm just going to basically go through the list of candidates and tell you whether or not I think they did a good job. So let's start with John Delaney. I don't know why he's running for president. He's a cringer, and he did terrible. Everything he did was basically, like, trying to stifle the progress of every other candidate. And I will say the progress, as far as a debate stage, as far as topics for the debate, holy shit, man. They were talking about corporate greed. They were talking about, like, the 1%. They were doing almost the entire Bernie, like, policy things. Now, obviously, I don't trust any of these people, but John Delaney was the one who was, like, pushing back on all that the most. Jay Inslee. Jay Inslee was, he's kind of like a single issue guy, and he did a lot of good when bringing up climate change. He was pretty, like, a lot of the candidates for the debates are really only good to, like, bring up on certain issues just to push the conversation left. Because that's what we need. We need to push this conversation left. So Jay Inslee's doing a good job at that. He has no chance of winning. I don't support him in the slightest, but he is good in that kind of fashion. And he did a good job tonight, I think. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard was a little cringe, but a little not cringe. I'm not a huge fan of Tulsi. She got a lot of unfair questions, and she handled them really well. So Tulsi impressed me. Tulsi's bumping up on my radar. Still, obviously, if you vote for her, you're a fucking clown, but at the same time, she's pretty good, and she's pushing the conversation left, and that's all we need. Amy Klobuchar, I think Amy Klobuchar, like, the most time in the debate out of any candidate, I think. And it's like, why? Amy Klobuchar literally looks like the fucking villain in, like, 101 Dalmatians. Like, she is a grotesque, evil motherfucker. Like, every single fucking thing, she was like, no, I don't think we need this. We need to have a compromise. And it's just like, she is such a fucking whore. She's a wretched, vile fucking weed, and she needs to go away. Beto O'Rourke. Oh my god. Okay, so I am not even the biggest Beto hater. There are people that hate Beto way more than I do. But Beto O'Rourke, what was he doing when he came out the gate with Spanish and couldn't answer the question, fumbled like 30 times? And then with the healthcare thing, Beto is just a fucking clown. He lost. Like, I think Beto is the biggest loser out of the first Democratic debate. I think he is the biggest loser. Just what a fumble motherfucker. He just couldn't answer a single question succinctly at all, and he doesn't know where he wants to be. And I think he needs to just run for Senate, because what the fuck are you doing here? You're not gonna win, buddy. It's over. It's done. I'm sorry. Elizabeth Warren, who is my favorite out of the lineup tonight. She did great. She was doing really, really good. So there was a moment where, all the candidates were asked to raise their hand if they support a no questions asked universal healthcare system. And I think it was just de Blasio and Warren, and everyone else didn't raise their hands. And boy, that was a powerful image. That was a powerful image right there. Like, I was like, oh my god. Because that was, like, kind of still early enough to the point where I didn't really quite realize just how far left the debate had shifted. So I was kind of, like, nervous when I saw that. I was like, oh god, is this going to be 2016 on loop? But later in the debate, things just got fiery. But yeah, Warren was great. Cory Booker, honestly, I don't like Cory Booker, like, at all. I'm from New Jersey, so that gives me extra credibility when talking about him. Because I used to live there before I followed politics, so extra credibility. But Cory Booker's kind of a corporate hack, but he was really lefty in this debate. He was going in. He was, like, the only candidate to actually mention trans people in, like, a legitimate and, like, actual real fashion. Julian Castro kind of tried, but fumbled a bit. Which I appreciate, but Cory Booker went in. He brought up the very, very, very depressing numbers of trans murders that have been going on, especially in the black community over the past, like, forever, but especially the past few years. There's even been 2 murders, like, of trans people literally, like, in my neighborhood. Like, in the DC area, like, a few neighborhoods over, there have been, like, literal targeted murders of trans people. So this shit is very severe, very real, and I appreciate Cory Booker for bringing that up. And again, I don't like Cory Booker, but he did a great job in this debate. He was going really far left. I think he fumbled a bit on the Iran thing. I think he didn't know what he was doing. He was trying to, like, leave himself open for stuff, but in reality, he kind of singled himself out and looked like a goofball. So, but overall, Cory Booker was pretty damn good. I think Cory Booker going left, like, pivoting far left in this debate is a very serious kind of, like, disclaimer of, like, what's going on. Because obviously the Democratic Party is going left. Obviously the population is going, like, way left. So it's like, either you're going to get left behind, like Amy Klobuchar and John Delaney, and look like a fucking idiot, or you're going to be like Beto O'Rourke, where, like, people just can't make up their minds with you and lose interest. Or you're going to be like Cory Booker, where he just surprised everyone and like, go like, wow, all right, everyone's literally going to give you credit now. So, well, everyone that matters. And then we have Julian Castro, who honestly, going into this, I thought he was a cringer, but he did pretty well. He fumbled a little bit and, like, answered a few questions really poorly. But overall, his message was really strong, especially on immigration. His message was really strong. So, like, each candidate except for Amy and Delaney and Beto, I think, had, like, a really good moment. At least a few good moments. And Julian Castro's moment was the immigration topic was just, he did a really good job. And he also dunked on Beto really hard, which, like, oof, that was so good. So Julian Castro, he's bumping up a few points in my kind of, like, can I stand this guy? He's bumping up, like, maybe 1 point. Tim Ryan's a mixed bag. He was doing some really good, and then he was also doing some really bad stuff. And honestly, he's just so forgettable that I forgot what the good and the bad were, because he's just like, look at him, like, who cares? So forget Tim Ryan, he's okay. I'd throw him in the Beto bag. And then you have Bill de Blasio, who I thought was going to be a cringer, but holy shit, Bill was going in. I feel like Bill just, like, is in this race just to push the conversation left, because, like, holy shit, he was talking about, like, a lot of progressive stuff, including the progressive stuff that he's been doing in New York City, and his job as far as mayor in New York, I don't live there, so, I mean, I don't know everything, but it's a mixed bag, going by what I understand. But as far as rhetoric goes, really, these first few debates are kind of like, as far as I'm concerned, comparing them to the 2015 first debate during the 2016 cycle in 2015, that shit was depressing. Like, when it was Hillary, Lincoln Chafee, that weird gun guy, and Martin O'Malley versus Bernie Sanders, that was like, Bernie was like, God, Bernie makes me tear up because he's so good. I can't wait for tonight. Oh my God. But, like, it was so different to that. Like, because everyone was trying to, like, pivot left as much as they could. And it was just wild to say. It makes me so happy. But yeah, this first debate, way better than expected. Way better than expected. So I'm going to be doing one of these tomorrow. But holy fucking shit. Way, way better than expected. Wow. We are in for an excellent season of politics, and I can't wait for tomorrow. Today, even. This is happening in, like, fucking 11 hours. I literally, like, woke up and I'm like, I'm hyped. Bernie, he's coming. He's gonna do it. God, I'm so excited. So as far as things that I'm hoping for, I hope Bernie doesn't fumble, because this is a huge opportunity. He really needs to not fuck this up. This is, especially with everyone pivoting left on everything, it's gonna make Bernie look less unique, even though he still is the only person in the race, in any capacity, who's not a liberal. He is a literal socialist. And I know that, like, all the blah blah blahs, but just like going by his aura, the way he acts, the way he presents himself. And there was this moment in the first debate where Elizabeth Warren was kind of channeling what I mean here and talking about how, like, the energized populace and protests and that kind of stuff. And she's been really good with that too, but not as good as Bernie. Bernie is, like, again, in another league. And so I just hope that Bernie is still able to differentiate himself enough in these kind of races. And I feel like he is, but I am kind of nervous. But I think it's really funny that everyone kind of realizes that the Joe Biden way of doing things is null and void. And no, like, really, again, it was John Delaney and Amy Klobuchar that were gunning for that Joe Biden vice presidency. And so it's like, everyone else was at least trying to pretend to be a leftist and just failing on a different amount of, a certain level of failure. So, like, Beto, massive fail. Cory Booker, very minimal failure. But, yes, debate night round 1, holy shit. That is what I've got to say. And debate night round 2 is, God, it's got all the fucking players. Well, not all the players. Like, it doesn't have Liz. But, like, it's got enough of the really good players to, like, God, I'm so hyped. This shit is like, oh my God. Alright, so, let me know what you think. And, post below your comments. And, get ready for debate round 2. I've been watching the live Majority Report coverage, so I'm going to be posting that in the Discord, and we can watch it live, or you can watch your own coverage if you want, that's fine. But I like the Majority Report crew, they're good. So, there you go. That's it. That's my debate round 1 coverage.